Okay, all right, this is going to be the third video in the trafficking series. If you missed the last video, make sure you go check it out because we're going to be talking about a more efficient process than the last video. Last one was focused on Zapier and the process of creating a Zap to have Facebook talk to Brivity. This one is going to be the process I currently do. It's more efficient than the last video. The purpose of the last video was just to get you to see all the touch points. This is going to have you do the actual process that I do to minimize the time spent, because you don't want to be creating a new Zap every single time, creating every single step every single time. You've already made these. Some of the information is already filled in, so that's much faster than doing it like new every single time. So let's say we have a new listing. Now, last time in the last video we talked about this Chesterton Street. It's still going strong. So if I wanted to do a new address, and let's call it a just some number new address. So what I would do is I would make it in Facebook. Okay, same process as video 1. Come into Zapier, go to, let's say it's Collins again, because we were doing Colin last time. We're going to, instead of making a new Zap, we're going to copy this old Zap and we're going to click into there. So it's already got the steps built. Once it loads, it already has a bunch of the values filled out. We just have to change a couple things. So when you copy stuff, it's important to fill in the correct information. So instead of the name being copy of, we would have, I'm just filling in random numbers, test street, right? So assume this is the new listing ad that we'd be running. So you're going to come into Facebook. All of these are going to be the same. You do not need to change these except for the edit options version. Now, the page is going to stay the same, still CAZA, but the form, you're going to have to find the updated form. So assume we had made a Facebook listing for Test Street, right? Obviously it's not in there now. I see some of y'all's tests, but we would use the form associated with that listing. So the only thing you're changing when you copy a Zap is the edit options and the form. You would then press continue, test the Zap, and go through that normal process. I would just show what it looks like. You would test, you would press continue, it's going to try to test it, you would press continue. So, and then Facebook portion is done. Now we're on to the Brivity portion, and remember, this section is where the minutia, the little fine details are very important. So you would go back down to edit template. The ID, as you can see, is already populated for Colin because we filled it out once. All we have to do is copy it, and then there it is again. The first name can stay the same, so can the email, so can the phone number. So we don't have to type those in. That's great. You're going to scroll all the way down, almost to the bottom, and this source. Remember, the source is how we activate our auto plans in Brivity. So this has to be changed. So you're still going to have the SLM, but you're going to have whatever this is up top. You're going to have it here as well. Okay, and this is going to be the listing address again. So you keep scrolling down, and then down here again as well, you're going to have same thing. So on the Brivity section of the copied Zap, you're going to edit all the way to the bottom. You're going to edit the custom value for source to the listing address with SLM, and then the description asked for information about SLM listing address. So that's it. It's only 2 fields you have to edit. The rest of this is the same, and you can see the power here of copying because you don't actually have to fill out the information multiple times. It's just one time, and then you can fill in just 2 more boxes as opposed to 7, I think, 6 or 7. So that's much better. So go ahead and continue. You have to make sure you press continue. It's Zapier's version of save. It's going to test the step. You press continue again. Great. The final step is we're going to go into an email. Same deal, come down to edit template. All of this is good to go. You're going to scroll down to the subject. You're going to change this to the listing address. You're going to change this to the listing address. So the subject, this portion, listing address, at the body, this portion to the listing address. And that's it. See how much simpler that is? It's much, much simpler. It's good for you to know why things are and how things are, and what the pointers mean, but this is much simpler. We end up editing only a couple things per field. So keep on scrolling down. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to test it. I'm not going to test it because this is just a test. I would spam Jim if I did this, so I'm not going to do that. So the final thing, you're going to see some of these have SMSs set up. If you copy some of my current ones, Collins does have an SMS. He likes getting texts for his leads when they come in. So Some agents don't like this, some agents do. I don't think we do not have a mandatory process right now, but I don't think we're going to be making it a mandatory thing. Some agents, they like and prefer different modes of communication. Some agents have their emails open at all times, some don't. If you see a Zap that they send SMS as the fourth action, just copy from that. So if we go back up to the dashboard, I'm going to delete this old Zap. Okay, yep, remove the trash. So see how these links, it says Facebook to Brivity to Gmail, and then that's it. This one is Facebook to things, so it's Brivity, Gmail, and then SMS, that's what this symbol is. Go ahead and copy from these, in Collins specifically, because these have the more steps. This is the correct one. If you have questions about which one you should copy, reach out, 100%. I will answer. So that's it. You really only edit a couple things in Zapier. The next video is going to be how to get we've set up Zapier. Now it's time to have Brivity set up to expect, we're going to set it up to expect the correct variable. So see you in the next video.